This segment is brought to you by DCHFA, your homeownership resource in the district.
Well, good afternoon, Christopher Donald, Executive Director and CEO of the DC Housing Finance Agency. Thank you for joining us here on Let's Talk.
Afternoon. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I want to talk, I know we're going to talk about a special scholarship event that you all are sponsoring there, but I want to find out a little bit about you and your role there at the at DCHFA and kind of your journey, how you got there.
Sure. So I've been here at the agency over the last almost 9 years in October, as leader in this seat for the last almost 6 since 2020. But my journey here was a bit of a windy road. I tell people I'm a recovering developer, have done real estate development twice in my career from an entrepreneurial perspective, but really fell in love with the built environment as a child. As a little kid, I used to watch This Old House and love to see things being put together and houses and communities being transformed. And so for me, every day I get to kind of live my dream of being able to impact the world in which we live. So it's just it's really a pleasure for me to be here.
No, that's wonderful. And when we dream, of course, we dream about communities and what we hope that they can become if they don't fulfill that dream currently. And with you being with the district for as long as you have, I mean, in what ways do you think that we have fulfilled your dream and others in making DC sort of, that place that we want to call home?
So I remember visiting the district for the first time in 1993. I was still in college. Marion Barry had just returned. The police chief was Black. The fire chief was Black. You had a lot of young Black people here in the city doing amazing things. And it just was a city of wonder to me. And so the city has always represented so much opportunity. I was telling someone a couple of nights ago, I don't think that I could have done all that I've done in my career anywhere else in the world, in the country, than the District of Columbia, because, having talent, working hard, being an African American affords you certain opportunities in the city, unlike anywhere else. And so this city has been a city of dreams for me. It's been an opportunity to try and do different things, to encourage others who are like me, who come from similar backgrounds. And then we're the center of the universe, quite frankly, right? Like, we are the nation's capital. And so much happens here that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. And so I view it as a privilege to be here, to be a part of the ecosystem, to be able to inform what happens with housing policy here on the ground, which sometimes translates nationally. But we have a really unique position here in the city to kind of set a star. And I think that our leaders, our mayor in particular, has been very committed to investing in affordable housing, which has made my job very easy, right? To the extent that she has put in $100 million every year. So on a per capita basis, no one else in the country has done more for affordable housing than we have here in the District of Columbia. If you look at the ecosystem of developers, it reflects the community that they serve, right? So there are a lot of people who are in the affordable housing ecosystem here in the district. It's much more diverse than it is in a lot of other places around the country. And so I take great pleasure in that and really look to facilitate and grow and nurture that so that that can remain as diverse as it is. So I feel really lucky to be able to serve here in the district and do what I do.
Yeah, I know that affordable housing is a hot topic issue as well. And every time there's an election, I mean, folks talk about that a lot. And it's a challenge. Our major cities across the country now are becoming somewhat unaffordable for certain segments of the population. And I know, as you said, the mayor's put a lot into making that a possibility. But I mean, how far? What do you think? How far have we come? Do you think that there's, enough for folks to say, things are working for the average district resident?
Listen, one of the reasons that I love the industry that I'm in is because I'll always be needed, right? Affordable, you will never be able to build enough affordable housing, right? We will always need more uh,
Hmm.
because affordable housing covers more than the median, right? It's for a lot of people. And when we look at the standard of not spending more than a third of your income on housing, that's a very tough standard to meet in today's environment with rising costs and lower wages for lots of folks. And so um, we've done an incredible amount. The mayor was able to deliver the 36,000 units by 2025, right? And now we are working on setting additional goals to work towards, but there's always going to be room to do more as it relates to delivering housing that is attainable and affordable for the average American.
Yeah. Well, the we're here to talk today about the Todd A. Scholarship that comes out of your office. Tell us who Todd Lee was.
Todd Lee was my predecessor here at the agency. He was an amazing black man. He was an incredible leader, somebody who I looked up to tremendously, and probably one of the most influential folks in my personal professional life that I've worked for. Todd was very committed to the community. He was committed to excellence, to innovation. He was committed to ensuring that folks who had historically not been given an opportunity to participate in this ecosystem as principals to develop had an opportunity to do so and had access to capital to actually make those dreams come true. So it's one thing to say that I'm committed to diversity. It's another thing to then take the resources that are necessary to promote that diversity and put them out there so that people can actually grow and build something. And that's really the legacy that Todd established here at the agency.
And so the scholarship is aimed at who?
The scholarship is aimed at the next generation of young people who are coming into the industry. And so we want to encourage young people who are interested in real estate, affordable housing, and that entire kind of ecosystem, whether you're an architect or an engineer, or a contractor or a developer, anybody who's got a desire to participate, we want to encourage them. And we want to encourage faces that are not traditional faces that you see in those seats because we believe that that diversity of perspective informs a much richer context and community ultimately, right? When you have different ideas that kind of come together and struggle for, primacy, at the end of the day, that debate and that kind of working against one another to get the best solution generally comes up with the best solution for the community. So we want to promote that.
Who qualifies for the scholarship?
So we are supporting district residents who have completed their freshman year, their rising sophomores.
Okay.
They've got to provide their transcript. They're going to have to maintain a GPA, and all this information is available on our website. So if you go to our website and you go to the About section, you can look up the Todd A. Scholarship and find out what all the requirements are there. You need to be pursuing a bachelor's or master's in an undergraduate program at an accredited university. And we will give you a scholarship of this year of at least $5,000 if you qualify. We don't have a limit on the number of scholarships, so we're encouraging people to please apply. We have to date given over 20 scholarships over the last 5 years or so
Wonderful.
to applicants, and we want to do more. So if you're in school and you have an interest in the affordable housing field, pardon me, then I would strongly encourage you to take a look and apply.
So tell us, I'm just curious of the scholarships that you've given away over the past few years. Where has that taken some of these young people? Do you have any stories about, those who've actually gotten scholarships and where they are today, even if they're in the agency?
Yeah, so we're really excited. Some of the folks that we've given scholarships to have also gone on to be emerging leaders recognized by other organizations here locally. They're working in the nonprofit, public sector, and the private sectors in the development community. They've gotten both undergraduate degrees and graduate degrees, and they've gone on to be in the industry. So we are creating this network of folks who are going to be all across the industry doing all types of different things. So from development to public sector to practitioners. That's where we're seeing all of our graduates go.
We talk a lot about career opportunities for young people, Mr. Donald, and I know that some folks are just trying to figure out how do you get into this. You talked about watching Our House, and that sort of stimulated your interest in development and your career path. A high school student or a parent that's watching this right now, knowing that a scholarship is available for them down the road, but how do you identify that this is something as a career path for you? Any advice you would give any young folks that might see this?
Yeah, no, that's a wonderful question. Look, I had two parents who had a relatively high level of exposure who were both college educated, and I didn't know what a developer was until I was probably in my 30 years old, right?
Mhm.
Because it is not something that the average person can articulate, right? And so at the end of the day, as young people are looking around at different opportunities that they are interested in building something, whether that's housing, whether that's office buildings, whether that's retail. If you got an interest in having the ability to shape the world around you, then this is something that you should really consider, right? And there are lots of different ways to enter. You can enter it from a design perspective in terms of being an architect or an engineer. You can enter it from the finance perspective in terms of being a lender or an investor, right? You can enter it from the public sector in terms of being a planner or somebody who determines other types of policies. There's a lot of different entry points that get you into this ecosystem, and I would encourage young people to consider them all. But if it's something that is of interest to you, then I would encourage you to apply for the scholarship.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so very much for taking time out to be with us today to share the information about this scholarship. We hope that we can encourage folks to apply so that we can add to the list of folks that you all are celebrating who receive the benefits of the scholarship. We're putting the information up again. Any last notes that you want to add before you go?
No, I just love to see as many young people come forward as possible. We want to support you all and see when we are excited about the next generation. Going to do everything that we can to make sure that you guys are successful. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. It's my pleasure. And we will see you again when you got something else to share with us, Mr. Donald.
All right. Take care. Have a great weekend.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This segment was brought to you by DCHFA, your home ownership resource in the district.
Where do you